guys, it is Monday morning at like 8:30 right now, and we are starting this weekly vlog off. I honestly never thought I would make a video like this, but surprisingly enough, so many of you guys have been requesting this type of video. Obviously on this channel, we're used to me making like cute videos with my piggies and my buns. So what's going on? I am going to be filming an entire week of what it takes to run a small business. If you guys are new to this channel and don't know what the pig room is, it's not just filming really fun and cute videos with my guinea pigs and my bunnies, it's also a full-time business. So I work on producing and making handmade items, toys, treats, honestly, everything you could possibly think of to enrich guinea pigs and bunnies' lives. And along with that, there are so many other things. I work on photography, I work on videography, I work on social media, I work on creating business cards, stickers, packaging, new products every single month, planning out content, running errands, going to the fabric store, answering emails, answering DMs. Literally, guys, the list is endless, and I'm gonna be bringing you guys along through all of that. We're starting off this Monday morning, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if I got some orders, which I did. We actually got 25, which is over the weekend. Thank you guys so much. So I've got my work cut out for me, but thank you guys so much for ordering. If you guys do have any rabbits or guinea pigs and are like, oh, they're kind of looking bored, I feel like they like need to do something that's enriching, please go ahead and check out our website. It's linked down below. It's also linked on my channel where you guys can shop our products. We have so many goodies for your guinea pigs and bunnies. I can 100% promise you guys that they're going to love them. We need to go ahead and head to my warehouse to go ahead and package these orders up. Oh my God, guys, it is freaking frigid out here. I literally didn't have a, what are they even called? A snow scraper. So I had to use my glove. It is covered. It's like frosty. I got enough snow off my wipers to actually use them. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and head to our warehouse. Even through a snowstorm, I still get my orders out to you guys because I want you guys to get them as soon as possible. I of course have Mikey and Bambi with me as well. They always come to the studio with me. They love it. So let's go ahead and head there. So I went ahead and printed out all of my packing slips and labels for all the orders that came in over the weekend. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on these. I'm just now realizing that my camera only has 23%. So I'm gonna set you guys up with packaging these orders for you guys on camera until the camera dies. And hopefully we get them all packaged up on camera. I really hope so. So let's begin packing because we have a lot to get through. Alrighty, car is loaded up with all the packages. Now we're gonna go ahead and head off to the post office and drop them off. You guys can probably see now how insane this weather is right now, but I am now going to the loading dock of USPS. So for any businesses that have a good amount of packages that's just a little bit too much to bring to the front counter, you would go to the back of the USPS and go to their loading dock area, and you can actually like drop them off there and inside of a little like bin, I guess you could say. So that's what I do every single time. I find it to be a lot easier just because I don't have to go back and forth with bringing the packages in. I just park my car and then just unload everything from my trunk. A few orders came in overnight, so let's go ahead and drop these off. I just pulled up to Joann's because I need to grab some things because I have not done a launch in about 2.5 months, which is actually pretty normal for me. It's just something that I've kind of struggled with, you know, ever since I kind of became more successful in the business with keeping up with the demand. Not complaining about that whatsoever because you guys obviously love my products, which I really do appreciate. But my goal this year is to do more frequent launches, and I think the only way to do that is to hire someone to help me sew. I literally know no one. No one in my state, no one in my friend basis, family basis that knows how to sew. So I'm putting this wish into the universe to just bring someone to me that knows how to sew, because it would make my life not only so much easier, but to be able to do more frequent launches would be amazing for me, because that is a huge goal of mine for this year. I would love to do one, like a really big one, at least once a month, but because I am only one person, a one-man show, it's kind of hard for me to do so, especially with having so many products. So I'm trusting the universe that they will bring someone to me that knows how to sew, but just for the time being, I am going to be still continuing to be a one-man show and get this job done by myself. But yeah, let's go ahead and head into Joann's and pick up our materials. All right, question is, do they have it? Oh my God, they do. They literally have so much. This is amazing. All right, I was planning on like buying 4, but I feel like because they have more than 4, I should probably just load up on as much as possible. And I think it's also, I hope, on sale. Is it not on sale? Okay, 25% off. It's 25% off, which is decent. To start, we're gonna do 5. I feel like that's enough for the time being. That'll make a good amount of squish tunnels. Let's go.
The total is going to be $135.80.
Okay.
Do you need a cart?
No, I actually can just use my hands. Surprisingly, I thought I would. Awesome, thank you so much. Foam secured. We got 5 bolts. Total was $135, I believe. I always have to save my receipts because everything that I buy is a tax write-off. Just in case anyone is curious to know that, everything that I buy for my business, since my business is registered as an LLC, is a tax write-off. Yeah, $135.80. So gonna put this into safekeeping and make sure I hold on to that for all of my taxes and all that kind of stuff, which is not the fun stuff to talk about. Honestly, taxes stress me out, and I think it's quite honestly robbery, especially for small businesses, because some of us are struggling, you know? We should be making as much money as possible. Tax the rich, please, you know? So that's what I need to do in terms of my own business today, just running errands wise. But I do need to actually run to TJ Maxx, unrelated to the pig room, and see if they have Mikey and Bambi's favorite treats. They're completely out of them, so I want to go ahead and give them a look to see if they have them. Alrighty, you guys, I am now back home, and I actually need to go ahead and answer some emails. I do have a fair amount actually today of just customers asking questions, or just needing, you know, general order things. I'm gonna go ahead and just start answering those. Also, I have a good amount of people that actually have reached out to me, a lot of companies for potential sponsorships. I actually don't do a whole lot of sponsorships. I feel like when I was first starting out on YouTube and got my first couple ones, I was like, oh my God, yes, let me do it, because it was exciting, it was new. I felt like I was actually being a full-fledged YouTuber. Just because when I would watch YouTube and see people doing that, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I would love to do that. So I would kind of just grab onto anything that would come my way. Granted, a lot of the ones that did come my way were like general products that I thought would be useful and are still products I use today. So they're not anything that I would accept, like they were like pieces of junk and I was trying to sell you guys stuff that like didn't make sense or just was honestly not worth it. But more so now than ever, I actually am very strict on what sponsorships I accept. I don't think I've actually accepted one probably close to a year, I would say. I honestly have had so many companies reach out to me and just reach out to me about the weirdest things. Baby carriages, an electric screwdriver, kitchen appliances, literal couches, mattresses, just like the most randomest stuff. For my sake and my channel and the kind of content I create, it's just not something I want to promote. I just feel like it's not in line with, you know, my audience and stuff like that, nor I'm not really looking for this kind of stuff. I don't want to promote like silly stuff. So honestly, when I do accept sponsorships, it's because I genuinely believe in the product and actually use it myself. I did actually have one company reach out to me where I'm like, okay, I could actually use that. It was actually something I was looking at a couple months ago to use for the bun room. Like someone just sent me a subscription to literally do a integration on YouTube for file folders, like to organize papers. It just doesn't make sense to me, you guys. I get like the weirdest things ever. A backpack I just got, a charging thing for your phone. You know, these things are, what's this actually? A floor lamp. It's just stuff that I would not want to promote to you guys. It's just so silly. So let me go ahead and start answering these emails. What the heck was that? Something literally just... Mikey literally just knocked over like my whole storage thing of grids in the pig room. That was loud. I always feel weird having to like deny sponsorships, but I always feel like it's better for me to actually respond to them rather than not and just say like, hey, like thank you for the opportunity. You know, I just don't think this is a suitable product in line with me or my audience. I've responded to all of my emails. That is all done. Now I actually need to go ahead and start editing this video. So when it comes to editing my videos, I actually like to work through them. If it's like a weekly vlog like this one, I like to edit them by days. So I'm actually going to end up editing the first day that I filmed. That way it's just a little bit more manageable for me to actually edit the content rather than like having to sit down and edit a whole week's worth. It just would take so much time. Behind those ones. Yeah. Go and do photos of them or something. Like, imagine. Get a 14-14-8. The 2014-12 box. No, this is not gonna fit because this is the maybe I don't know. Grr. No, it's not gonna work. Just put the business card for now. Oh. I just finished cleaning one of my piggies' cages and I just wanted to show you guys how it's looking right now. I do need to go ahead and actually fill up their hay box. So obviously when it comes to creating content with my piggies, I always love to make sure that I'm shooting when their cages are clean. It's just more aesthetic when you have a clean background for photos and videos. So I take this opportunity with having a fresh, clean cage because it's not gonna last very long and I wanna bank as much content as I possibly can. So right now I'm actually having the idea to make a video about showing you guys what kind of hay I actually use for my own piggies. It's just something simple that I can do and is also not super hard to make. I also find that making informational content is actually the most impactful because people love to learn and hear what you have to offer. So that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing for this reel. So I'm just gonna be simply filling up their hay bin and getting a bunch of video clips of them actually eating on the hay and then actually do a voiceover later on. I honestly like doing this way much better just because I actually don't really have a script or what I wanna say in mind, but I do have a better idea once I actually see the clips and can put something together. So I'm gonna show you guys the behind the scenes. I'm just gonna go down here and actually grab some hay. Big mound for the piggies. You guys probably see they're, actually I'm gonna put this down so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. They love their hay. It's like one of their favorite things ever. So it kind of just makes sense for me to make a video about this. So I am now just gonna go ahead and use my trusty dusty phone and we are gonna go to my video app. I film for Instagram in HD at 30 frames per second, which you guys can just change with these little settings right here. And I literally just film them. I film them, I get nice close and personal. I get really cute clips of them just munching down on their hay, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna bring you guys in a little bit more. And also for my own filming methods, I kind of like to do panning movements or just slow movements. I just feel like it's a little bit more exciting to watch rather than just like a stoic phone on a tripod or just staying still. It's just a little bit more exciting to watch something that has a little bit of movement to it. So I'll show you guys. I'll just hit record and I literally will just pan really slowly around them, making sure everyone's in focus. And I do a bunch of shots. So I'll get group shots, I'll get nice and close and personal. So we'll get Wanda. I'll also do some zoom in clips on them. So I'm very close to their face. When it comes to doing short form content for Instagram, I like to get as many clips as I possibly can, just because it's really beneficial for me to include as many clips in the reel as possible. In this day and age, with having all these short forms of media, our attention span is definitely a lot lower than what it used to be. So I have to get as many as I possibly can. So again, we're just making sure that we're getting all the piggies. We're doing some panning movements. I'm gonna actually come on this side. Something like this is also about knowing your piggies. Lennon makes the cutest faces when she's actually eating. So I'm gonna highlight on that and actually just zoom in on her. And her lips and cheeks are like the cutest thing ever when she's eating. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to get that as best I possibly can. Oh my goodness, Miss Lennon, you look so cute. Right there is literally the perfect clip. So I'm now just gonna keep recording them, get a bunch of clips, and then we'll put the video together. Y'all are probably confused why I'm here and looking like this right now, but it'll make sense in just a second. Please bear with me. So I just went ahead and filmed all of my clips. I am now gonna go ahead and move into editing them. So I like to edit all of my content in CapCut. I find this to be the easiest for me. I love the platform so much. It's just very easy to manage. So I'll just start by editing all of my clips and then shortening them down and making things just kind of go together in a sense. So all the clips are all spliced together in one timeline. I just went ahead and made the clips about 1 to 2 seconds. I don't really go over more than that. Again, just because I have to keep in mind that people's attention spans are a little bit short. So is mine. I can obviously admit to that. Yeah, I want to make sure that this video is the most exciting as I possibly can. So I just have all of my clips right here and they just jump from obviously one clip to another, up close, further away, just all kinds of different shots. So this is what I'm working with. Now comes the part that makes sense as to why I'm literally in my bedroom right now with this king blanket on top of me. And that is because when it comes to doing voiceovers for these videos, I want my sound quality to sound very good, and this literally just helps it to sound like I'm in a studio. So that's basically what I do. All I do is I just literally put myself inside of here, and then I will just ramble off whatever I think of in terms of like being informational, being intriguing, and just talking about what makes sense. So I will just go ahead and actually just do, where is it? The audio, and then record, and then I will literally just record what I think so. So I think the first thing that I'm gonna start off with, which kind of helps me to just like lead into other things, is that picking out the perfect kind of hay can be quite the job considering that there's so many on the market. and then kind of just lead into the fact that like being an owner of guinea pigs for so long, I feel like I found the perfect hay for my piggies, and then we'll just snowball off of that and just see whatever the heck my noggin comes up with. And you guys will hear me for like the first sentence, and then the rest I'll just like show you guys. Picking out the perfect hay can be quite the job considering there are so many options out there. Having been an owner of guinea pigs for years, I've tried just about every single kind of hay that there is on the market. Thankfully, I have found one that there was a mess up right there. Thankfully, I have found one that my piggies absolutely love. Okay, I didn't like the way that I said absolutely, so I'm gonna do that again. Thankfully, I have found one that my piggies absolutely love. I finished, and that is basically the gist of what I do. So I just need to go ahead and actually perfect some of these clips to make sure obviously everything sounds good. And then I also want to include text on the screen. So I'm just going to generate that as well. Picking out the perfect hay can be quite the job considering there are so many options out there. Having been an owner of guinea pigs for years, I've tried just about every kind of... So that's pretty much it. Obviously, we have the cute clips of the piggies, we've got the text on the screen, we've got the voiceover. Orchard grass is a solid choice for those who have allergies to timothy hay, and also it's great for your piggies to burrow. So that's basically what I do. That is my reel, so I'm just gonna go ahead and export that and then literally upload it to Instagram. I asked you guys over on Instagram if you had any questions for me or any just words of advice, and you guys sounded off with a whole bunch, so I just wanted to take this time at the end of this video to answer a few of your guys' questions. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down to the bottom of our questions. This question comes from Grace, and she says, how to get your product sold, like how do you advertise? For me, it was kind of more so organic advertisement. I initially had started on YouTube where I was making videos about the piggies that I had at the time, which was very few, and then that slowly turned into me coming out with a Etsy store, kind of discovering that there was a little bit of demand for guinea pig items, a lot of flea stuff. So I was like, you know what, kind of want to get into a new hobby. So I decided to get my first sewing machine. That kind of fell into organic advertisement because I already had built a little bit of a following on YouTube. So I didn't really have to do like paid ads on Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. I already naturally had the audience who had guinea pigs. So it was like perfect. Honestly, it went hand in hand with me being able to make products and also to sell them to people on my YouTube and Instagram. The next question comes from Emily, and she says, how do you manage running a business and looking after all the animals and editing videos? So it is pretty crazy, I won't lie. Running a business all while taking care of so many animals, plus doing YouTube and editing and all that kind of stuff and social media. It can be a bit overwhelming, but what I will say is the fact that this is my full-time job. I don't have any other job outside of this. So my days are consumed predominantly just by the pig room. So I have all the hours in my day to devote to taking care of the pig room. And that means doing things like running the business and packing orders and filming videos and editing, all that kind of stuff. The way that I do manage all that kind of stuff is I like to make a schedule for myself and just kind of plan out the things that I need to do per day. So I will take every night before I go to bed and actually make a to-do list. And that just really helps to make me feel a little bit more organized. I'm the type of person who needs a written out list in order for me to know what to do every single day. And that has really worked for me in just keeping track of everything, and I can just kind of tick off everything that I've completed. Also, doing something like that just helps me to stay more organized. I feel like if I didn't have a set list of things that I need to get done for specific days, I would just kind of be all over the place. I would be a mess. I wouldn't know what to do. So organizing all the things that I need to do per day help me out so much, and it helps to obviously keep the business running. The most important thing when it comes to running a business is this right here, your brain, and making sure that everything is functioning up there. So a huge thing in that as well is taking care of myself. So I take pride in taking care of my health and also involving myself in fitness. Actually just got back from the gym, which is why I look like this right now. I probably look like a mess. So yeah, being able to obviously take care of myself, that's also a really big portion of being able to show up for my business and do all the stuff that I need to do every single day, because it is a lot, but I've definitely gotten used to the workload that I have to do each day. Next question comes from Julia or Juliasa. I don't know how to pronounce the name. She said, how do you start? Was there a point where you wanted to give up? What motivated you to start? That's a great question. This was a slow and steady thing for me. I did not jump into this thing, this business. I honestly did not jump into this thinking it would be a business. I just jumped into creating content because it was COVID, I was bored, I wanted something to do. I realized that I was having so much fun and enjoying people making guinea pig content or just small animal content in general. I was like, you know what? I have guinea pigs. Let me just try it out and see what happens. And it just so happens that people stuck around for my content and subscribed. That's how I basically started, was just making my YouTube channel and making videos and posting. And then slowly but surely, just being consistent with that, I built a bigger audience and more followers followers and more subscribers, really involve myself in this community that I have never been involved with ever. And I slowly figured out how big this community was. I didn't realize how insanely massive it is. Thankfully, there was never a point when I wanted to give up. I have been so incredibly committed to the pig room for, I think we're coming up on like 4 years now, and I can confidently say that I've never once wanted to give up. I have found something that I am so incredibly passionate about, and I think that's the number one thing that really separates everything from what I've done in life. Like, I've done so many things, I've done so many jobs. I actually used to run a publication back when I lived in New York, and I did that for about 1.5 to 2 years, and it was great, it was fun, but I never really felt like my heart was in it. I never really felt super motivated to continue with it. So it wasn't until I kind of found my passion, or I should say revived my passion for small animals, because I used to have small animals when I was a kid, but I didn't have them for a very long time until obviously 4 years ago. And it wasn't until then when I really was like, oh my God, I've missed this so much. And I tapped into kind of my childhood, I guess you could say. And that was truly magical for me and also very healing as well. So because I've been so devoted to this and just really found my niche, I feel like there's just nothing and no one that can stop me or take that away from me, and nothing that can just change the course of my direction in life. I honestly want to be doing this for the rest of my life. Granted, I probably will figure out different ways to, like, you know, improve or change my content, but at the end of the day, my passion for small animals, or more specifically guinea pigs, will never go away. That is literally a part of me that is in my soul. For as long as I live here on this earth, this is what I will be doing, and honestly, I'm very excited about that, because just seeing my progression in the last 4 years of doing this, and how much I've grown and how much I've really fallen in love with you guys and this community, I'm very excited for what the future holds. That's kind of also what motivates me to answer that question. It's you guys that watch me. Next question is Katie, and she says, would you sell sewing patterns? I haven't thought about that, but I will be honest with you guys. Considering that I'd like to think that I've made some of my products fairly popular, which is, you guys know my squish tunnels. They're raved about. Everyone loves them. I love them too. That is something that's kind of like the secret formula. Like, I feel like Mr. Krabs, and like if I was to give my secret formula to Plankton, that just wouldn't be a smart thing to do. So I feel like giving away my patterns wouldn't be great. Now, that's not to say that there aren't other people out there making tunnels. I just want to keep that to myself. It took me a while actually to figure out the right patterns for that and the right sizings, because it was a lot of like components and parts. So I worked hard to make a product that I'm very happy with, and kind of just pinpointed all those measurements. So to give that away, I just feel like it's like I'm like giving a part of my child away. So I probably won't. Any legal aspects, taxes, hiring help, etc. When it comes to creating a small business, I think the number one important thing is to obviously protect yourself legally. If you guys don't know, I'll just say it right now. If you were to come out with a small business and call it like you were selling keys, okay? Let's say you were selling keys and you wanted to name the business like Keys for Cars, whatever, I don't know. Keys for Cars. If that business is not registered as an LLC, or the product isn't trademarked, it's pretty much up for grabs. Now, I will say you don't really have to do that kind of stuff and trademark and, you know, register your business in like the very beginning. But once your business starts gaining popularity and you're getting more sales and income's rolling in, that is when you want to make sure that you are taking things very seriously. And that means getting it all legitimized. So getting an LLC and making sure that your business is locked in with its name. No one else can take it from you. That was something that I was feeling really pressured to do once I started to gain a little bit more traction on my channel and also on my platform, because I was like, I do not want anyone to steal this. I also was soonly, is that like a word? Quickly is better. I was quickly realizing that a lot of people were calling their guinea pigs room the pig room. When I would be on all these Facebook groups on Facebook, I would see just how many people were referring to their guinea pig rooms as the pig rooms. And I was like, okay, so a lot of people are using this name. Let me just make sure that I go ahead and secure it just before anyone has the idea to take it from me. So thankfully, I can say the business is actually registered. It was actually registered like last year. So the pig room is a trademark name. No one can take it, thankfully. So that name is forever and always mine. Another thing to keep in mind is that these things are fairly expensive. I don't really ever talk about money here on this channel, but for this portion I will. That was my chair, by the way. It was about $1,400 for me to trademark my business, and that is fairly expensive. I mean, it's not the most expensive compared to some other businesses. It really depends upon how many products you offer and what different like categories you have. So because my business is pretty big in terms of how many products I have with toys, treats, and like different like bedding materials and all that kind of stuff, I had to trademark each category, and that adds up money wise. And then it cost me a couple $100s for my LLC. And then for taxes, pretty much the same thing. I have to keep all my receipts. Everything that I purchase for my business is a tax write-off. That includes sewing materials, new cameras, subscriptions to editing software, to music subscriptions, literally everything that is involved in this business, things that I buy from suppliers, things from Joann's, all that kind of stuff. Everything that I purchase that is related to my business or to YouTube, all that kind of stuff is a tax write-off. So you got to keep your receipts, you got to have all that stuff in order, because when tax season rolls around, you got to stay organized and make sure you put everything because you want your best return. That was probably a lot, but I hope that answered your question. What website do you use? I use Shopify. I find that to be the easiest. It's the most user-friendly in terms of just for beginners. They have a lot of templates on there. I actually spent, I think like $280 for my template. I wanted something that was a little bit more custom, something that wasn't really like what other people had. So I did spend money on that. Again, that's a tax write-off right there. Yeah, I do use Shopify, which is really amazing. I love the platform. They're like honestly the best one ever. Next question comes from Dominic, and he said, how did you make your logo? So I actually had a designer make my logo. She was someone that I actually had found over on Instagram, and I was like, oh my God, I love her work. It's so great. So I reached out to her through Instagram. I was like, I'm looking for someone to make my logo. She was actually doing guinea pig artwork at the time. So I was like, this is literally perfect. Sent her like a rough draft sketch of my idea, and she literally nailed it on the head. She produced it for me. I paid her, and she made my logo. So it's just a matter of just finding a designer that works for you and kind of the art style that you like. I actually continue to work with her to this day. Like I've been working with her for probably like almost 3 years. She produces all the artwork for the pig room. So it's really fun to collaborate with another artist and also support another business as well. I think those are going to be all the questions that I'm going to answer for you guys. If you guys do have any more questions for me, please leave them down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit different and not really your usual content that you guys see here on this channel. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a like. And if you didn't, I apologize, and definitely expect to see our normal guinea pig content coming up very soon. I have some very fun videos in the works. I'm really excited for you guys to actually watch them and see them. That is going to be it for me on this week's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to leave this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more videos every single week. And until then, I hope you and your piggies are happy, safe, and healthy. Bye, guys.